Welcome to another episode of the Grateful Gem Podcast. I'm the host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today's topic is going to be making the list. Stick around because gems are definitely about to be dropped. So get ready. Before I get into this episode, I need everyone listening to this podcast right now to follow the podcast on IG at The Grateful Gem Pod, and also follow me at Jasmine Shannelle. I'll spell everything out and put it in the episode notes. Okay, let's get started. Welcome back, Gems, to a great episode. I'm so excited that you're here. This episode isn't going to be that long. I was just thinking about some things that I was thinking over this week, and I thought I'd just see what your opinions were regarding them. So, sorry if I sound stuffed up. My allergies are not the best. But I'm here to do what I came to do. So, let's get right into it. So, today's topic is making the list. So, I was watching the movie Nobody's Fool by Tyler Perry, and I was thinking about the list. The list that we create when it comes to dating our spouse, when it comes to potential daters that come across our path. And I think about, is it really so much about what we prefer, or is it so much about what God has for us? Because I was thinking about it over the last couple of days, and I realized that the person that we're going to 9 times out of 10 end up with is not a person that's on our list. It's not a person that we would ever probably even really talk to in reality out of intentional dating. It's someone that probably we would walk past or notice, but not think about talking to them on that kind of level. And me and my best friend had a conversation where, we were talking about, she was talking about, what she's looking for in a man when it comes to her next dating venture, next person that she is looking to date to marry. And, I was like, what? I did the same thing. I wrote down a list of qualities that I expected from my potential husband, spouse to be. And then it dawned on me, and I'm like, what? Then again, I told her, I said, I'm going to have to relook at this, because to be honest with you, I think it's pointless to write out what it is that we expect. Because if we're trusting God and we're telling Him to come through with this manly, godly, wholesome, humble, leading man that is sent by God, there's nothing else that needs to be reiterated, because God knows the desires of our heart. God knows what it is that we need in a spouse. Qualities that we don't even count as qualities. Things that we look into other people and disagree with, but we need those things in our partners so that we're able to grow into our next season. So I have just been really honestly thinking about dating, figuring out, is it really about what I want, or is it about what God has for me? Because if you think about it, if you sit down and talk to people that's married, or a person that's in a relationship with someone that they're potentially going to marry, and they think about, if you just talk to them and have a conversation, 9 times out of 10, someone would say, this wasn't, or that person wasn't my ideal person. This person isn't someone that I would just choose, out of the blue, out of a crowd. And maybe that's our problem. Maybe it's perception or making the list that is keeping us single. Maybe it's our perspective of what our potential spouse or husband, wife, whatever, looks like. Maybe that's the thing that keeps attracting us to the people that haven't made the list yet. I don't know where this all stemmed from, but I just have been thinking about it, and I'm like, it's really interesting. I'm thinking, I'm sitting here writing this list, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm no longer making a list, because honestly, do I really know what I need in order to be the best partner that I'm supposed to be? Do I really know what qualities I need in a man to become the best person of me? Because initially, when you're in a relationship with someone, that person is a reflection of you. So you want to be able to have a good reflection. You want to be able to be with someone that can grow you and who can lead you. And you're not going to know that off the bat by meeting somebody. You're going to be able to say, okay, well, this person has some great qualities, or, you know, they're intelligent, but what's intelligent if they're only intelligent for themselves? Or what's having leadership qualities if they're selfish and they don't include you in that? They don't lead you because their judgments may be just, you ever met a person where it's just like they have made stupid decisions, but the decisions that they made have turned out to be good or have had a good outcome? Is that who you want to end up with? You know, so it's hard, because it's like you're kind of looking on the outside looking in versus actually knowing what it is that you need to grow, what it is that God has for you. And so this year, I'm challenging everybody, including myself, to not make a list. Of course, have, your perspective of what it is a guy should have when it comes to dating you. I'm not saying let down your guard and just look at the person next to you and just assume that person is the person that God has for you. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just be mindful of the things that a person that come across you has. Honestly, just be a little bit more aware of what they offer. People that, like, for me, my biggest thing is I'm not dating no guy that already has kids. And my reason is because 9 times out of 10, if you have a child, in my mind, or not even in my mind, because I've had instances where people have dated, what am I saying? Yeah, people have dated outside of, their baby mom, or have dated after they've had a child, but 9 times out of 10 they continuously still either have contact with their baby mama, or they're still, messing around with them. So in my experience, I'm like, I'm not dating nobody that has kids, because 1, I don't have kids, and 2, I think that it's just a traumatized area for me, because like I said, I've dated people that had kids in previous times, and it just never worked out for me. So now I'm just like, forget that. I don't have kids. I'm not bringing that kind of baggage with me, because you have to be in a different place to be able to fully trust. And I'm not going to say that everybody is like that, because you have a lot of females that aren't talking to their baby dads anymore, and you have a lot of males that aren't talking to their baby moms anymore. So it just comes about a mindset. And I think that this year I'm just at a point where I'm going to remove the boundaries from when not from, but I'm going to remove the boundaries of how I think about a relationship or that ideal person, because obviously I don't know how to pick people, because if I did, I would be in a better relationship right now. So with that being said, I think it's a great idea to just try to take away the boundaries. Try to think about people that have already come across your path, or people that's trying to reach out to you regarding that area, and see what their qualities consist of. Not saying to just let your guard down and trust anybody, because no, guard your heart and guard it with protection from what it is that is hindering you from moving forward. But don't be so judgmental on a person's outside, or a person's backstory, or a person's life, that you miss out on a blessing from God. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you, the person that you're going to end up with is a person that you never saw coming. It could be the person that you're with, or it could be somebody that you already know, or it could be somebody that you've crossed paths with previously and then you're going to cross paths again. So you just never know. So yeah, that's my message for today. Just be open. 2020, clear vision. Not only when it comes to business, not only when it comes to your life, but also when it comes to dating. Stop putting so many lenses and shades and bifocals and tints, and tainting out what it looks like to be on a date with somebody, because you could go on a person that you could go on a date with a person that is a totally opposite of what you're looking for, and it could be the best time of your life. And taking that step could be the best choice of your life, the best decision that you've ever made. That person could be the person you end up with. We don't know. You just have to take chances and not be so judgmental about what people have going on in the background. Take into consideration what they have in the background and say, like, hey, is this something I can deal with? If you can't deal with it, then don't deal with it. You're stronger than that. But don't just weed somebody out because, they have a child, or, if you don't have any evidence of what this person is doing and it's not obvious what you're saying is true, then don't just rule them out, because that could just be the very person that God has sent to you to heal you from your past, to love you the way that you're supposed to be loved. Because us women, we don't take into consideration sometimes the journey that men go through as well. There's a lot of women out here, probably as many women as there is men, that has been heartbroken. I know there's dudes out here that have been left by their baby moms or their wives, people that get married and they leave their kids behind. It's not just dads doing that. There's moms out there that don't take care of their responsibilities, that leave fathers with the responsibility to take care of children. And 9 times out of 10, men don't know what they're doing. A mom, she can easily grab on and multitask. Some men can't do that. So we have to take into consideration not only what we as women go through, but also what a man could have gone through as well, because it could very well be a traumatizing situation for them just as well as for us. The way that we put an emotional condom on could be the same way that men are looking at it as well. And I also had a conversation with one of my friends earlier, and we were talking about how it just seems like, people are into just having fun rather than dating. And I told her, I said, it's sad because you have dudes or females that's out here that genuinely want to be in a relationship, but they get with people that don't want that, and they just want to have fun. So the person that really wanted to be in a relationship, now you're weaned on just having fun instead of having an actual relationship. And unfortunately, they're not strong enough to overcome that power. So you have a person that may feel like, hey, I want this, but that person didn't want that, so it's whatever. So just take that into consideration. I think that in this case, it is just a power of being able to be above the influence and be above what seems natural and okay, and being able to just stay true to yourself and true to what it is that you're believing in. If you want a relationship, don't, of course, get with someone that doesn't want a relationship, and don't change who you are and what your goals are to be with someone, because all in all, you're building up someone else and you're beating yourself down. So I just think that it's very important that we start putting boundaries on people and start putting boundaries on what we accept for relationships. I think that will help us with where it is we're trying to go when it comes to dating. And I feel like once we do that, we'll have a better vision of who it is that we're dating and who it is that we're looking for, and if that person is in fact for us, if we're already with that person. Not only if that person is for us, but if God sent that person, because who wants to be in a relationship that was never supposed to happen anyway? And you have to be able to just be willing to put in the thought and effort to have a successful relationship. And just remember that you can't be judgmental, because that could just be the very reason why you are single in the first place. And I really had to do some thinking about this. I was watching the Tyler Perry's movie, Nobody's Fool, and I thought that message was really great, because like I said, I've been thinking about this for some time now, and to see that, it's just like, you have this successful woman who, she was just mental about the guy that, owned the coffee shop. But, yeah, he had a felony, or he was a felon, but he turned his life around and he was a business owner. He had a child, but he took care of his responsibilities. And, he just wanted to be there for her. He just wanted to help her along the way and have a healthy relationship. But if you remember the movie, or if you see the movie, you will see that the guy that she was previously dating matched everything on her list. But in reality, when they got together, it was a disaster. So the very person that you could be looking for could very well be out there. You could very well be with that person, but is that really what you want? The other person, I think, what for her was just a dose of reality. He was humble and he balanced her. Sometimes that's what we need. We need somebody that balances us, or someone that humbles us, because sometimes it gets hard and sometimes we just can't do it alone. And it's good to have a person that can balance you out from the other things in life. Someone that understands where you're going and understand where you came from. And they don't have to have the same background as you to have that moment with you. As long as they're willing to try and willing to fully understand what it is that you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, I think that is a good chemistry match. I'm not a science teacher or anything like that, but like I said, I've put a lot of thought into this, and I think that for this year, we are 4 days into the new year, so I'm going to, well, probably not 4 days when you're listening to this, but at this current moment, we're 4 days into the new year, and I've decided to take the boundaries off of the people that I look at dating, and just start putting boundaries on what I require to be in a relationship with me, not what the person has or things like that, but just putting emphasis on what I'm going to allow and what I'm not, what's respectable and what's not. Just setting the boundaries inside of a relationship, because you have to be intentional. And if you're not going to be intentional in dating, then you're going to continuously be looking for something that is not out there. So be upfront with yourself so that when the time presents itself, you know how to go about choosing the person that you're dating or getting to know. And I also listened to a message from Darius Daniels, his relationships moment, and it was a series on, the stages of relationships, and I thought it was a good insight on, how to set boundaries and what to figure out when you're dating someone. It gives you the 4 stages, and I don't have them on here, but I remember the first one was kicking it. And that's just really a stage where we're getting to know each other and just really determining if that person that you're spending time with is a person that you can see yourself potentially dating. What do they offer? What do they have? What's their flaws that you can see? What stands out about this person? And then I believe the next stage was, God, what was it? You know what? Let me check on that. Give me just a second. Back. So I found those notes. So the first thing, like I said, was just kicking it. That's just a stage where basically, again, you just determine if what this person offers is what you really want. It's just a time where you're exploring the person. The second stage is coupling. So defining yourself as exclusive and just making a decision to be in a relationship with that person. The third stage is commitment. This is where that's going to be your potential spouse. It leads to engagement. So you've already kicked it with this person. You've determined whether they're worthy of you dating them. So you're coupling, and now you're in the stage of commitment where it's potentially going to be with the person that you're going to marry. And then the fourth stage is, of course, marriage, being covenant. And then once you get there, you just really take the step of deciding if you're going to trust this person to do life with. You think of this person as someone that you're able to build with and to lead on and all of that good stuff. So I really think that video was a good example of how to look into dating. Of course, it's just their opinion, but I think it was a really, really, really good thing to consider when it comes to dating. And I'm also going to copy that and put the links in the show notes. So, yeah, that's just my topic today. This has just been on my mind because I've been reevaluating my dating life. So, I know that I'm not the only one out there that's single. So, I hope that this information was helpful and that you start thinking about putting boundaries on what we allow in relationships and not judging people and putting boundaries on what they have. Of course, I'm not saying to go out and date a bum or a guy that doesn't work or a guy that just can't get his life together. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't judge a guy if, they're divorced. Because even if he's divorced, it could have just been that he wasn't with the right woman. So you could be that potential woman that he's looking for or that God sent to him. So, don't judge him if he's divorced. Don't judge him or not even just him or her or him, but just both female and male. Don't judge him or her if they're divorced. Don't judge him or her if they have kids and you don't, or you have kids already. You don't want to be with somebody that have kids. Don't judge them about how they look, how they dress. Of course, you're gonna be attracted to this person, obviously, but don't solely base your opinion and your potential off of attraction, because that's honestly going to get you nowhere. And would you rather be in a relationship with someone that has no smarts, no financial leadership, no leadership in life, can't make wise decisions, but be with somebody that looks good, that dresses nice, but they go bankrupt to get the things that they have? Or would you rather be with someone that actually lives that life in real life, like has it all together or has it somewhat together, So, yeah, that's just the topic of today. Just do some reiterating, because this year is a year of open doors and open eyes, because you must have 2020 vision. So, yeah, I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye. Don't forget to keep shining as the gems you are. Bye.